Room. My mom called me the night before my wedding to warn me not to expect her to show up. What she didn't know was that I'd already found out why. I was 31 years old, standing in a hotel room in a white dress that cost me 4 months of savings, when my phone buzzed on the nightstand. Mom. I almost didn't answer. We hadn't spoken properly in 6 weeks, not since she told me my fiancé Daniel was beneath our family. Daniel, who worked 60 hours a week as a paramedic. Daniel, who held my hand through 2 years of grief counseling after my father died, beneath us. I answered anyway. I'm not coming tomorrow, she said. No greeting, no softness. And honestly, I think you should reconsider the whole thing. I asked her why. She said she had her reasons. Then she hung up. I sat on the edge of that hotel bed for a long time, staring at the wall. Something felt wrong, but not in the way grief feels wrong, in the way a locked door feels wrong when you didn't know there was a room there. My younger sister Priya called 30 minutes later. Her voice was strange, too careful. She said Mom was just stressed. She said I should sleep and not overthink it. She said everything would be fine. 3 times she said it. I counted. I didn't sleep. At 2 a.m. I opened my laptop and started looking at things I probably should have looked at months ago. Our family's joint property account, the one my father left behind, the one Mom had been managing since his death. I had full legal access. I just never used it because I trusted her. There were 11 transfers over 22 months, each one between $8,000 and $15,000, all going to the same account. I didn't recognize the number, so I wrote it down. In the morning, I got ready alone, zipped my own dress, did my own hair. My maid of honor, Celestine, knocked at 7 and found me sitting at the desk with my laptop still open. She looked at the screen and then looked at me. Do you know whose account that is? I asked her. She sat down slowly. She didn't answer immediately, and in that pause, I already knew she knew something. Celestine had been my sister's best friend before she was mine. She told me quietly, looking at her hands, that Priya had been in a relationship for almost 2 years with a man Mom had introduced her to. A man with a business that needed quiet, consistent funding to stay afloat. My inheritance, my father's money, funneled through my mother into my sister's boyfriend's failing company. The reason Mom didn't want me to marry Daniel had nothing to do with Daniel. It was because once I was married, I would legally review the estate. She had been counting on my grief, keeping me distracted, keeping me grateful, keeping me small. I walked down the aisle at 11 o'clock. Daniel cried when he saw me. The real kind. The kind that makes a person look ugly and completely unguarded. I held his hands and I said my vows, and every word I meant completely. My mother was not there. My sister sat in the 3rd row, in a yellow dress, smiling carefully at anyone who looked at her. I looked at her once, for a long time, long enough that her smile faltered. She looked down at her bouquet. At the reception, an attorney friend of Daniel's confirmed quietly that what had happened was likely actionable. I have the transfers. I have the account. I have a paper trail that goes back almost 2 years. Here is what I don't have. A clear answer. My father loved my mother for 34 years. My sister used to climb into my bed during thunderstorms when we were children. There is a version of this where I file the paperwork Monday morning and let the law do what it does. There is another version where I call my mother and give her the chance to explain. I have not called her. I keep picking up the phone and putting it back down. Daniel asked me last night what I was thinking. I told him I was thinking about my father, about how much he trusted people, about whether that was wisdom or his greatest flaw. Daniel didn't answer. He just held my hand. I'm still deciding.